Dead movies are so few and far between, but when they are done, they're normally fantastic. Let's just look at the Book of Life, for instance. That was fantastic, but where does Coco hold up? That is the main question we're going to be answering today, folks, as we take a look at Miguel's musical ambitions and his journey to the land of the dead. But before we jump right into all that, do us a massive favour and smash that subscribe button. That would be much appreciated. So with Coco, for me, this is by far the best Day of the Dead movie. And there isn't many out there, granted, but I think that this particular film mixes the great storytelling that we love to see in Day of the Dead movies and also the culture. It definitely shows the culture down to a fucking nutshell, and it also manages to get in the idea of telling the story via music. Not all the way through, but like the song Remember Me helps to elevate the rest of the movie, because that song is used in different parts of the movie to help tell different stages of the movie, and it really works, and so did all the other songs used in this particular movie. And by doing that, I think it appeals to every type of audience, because we all love to get involved in these sort of like different musical moments within movies. As well as that, I thought that the story was well written and well put together, of Miguel wanting to pursue musical ambitions, but his family are totally against it, because his family have been taught up to hate music for whatever reason. At the start of the film, we as the audience do not know the reason until he goes to the land of the dead by an accident after stealing the guitar, after being told he should not play music, and his guitar was destroyed. He ends up being transferred to the land of the dead after stealing the guitar of his hero, Ernesto. However, when he gets to the land of the dead, he then needs to be transported back, so he sees his old ancestors, in which want to send him back straight away to the land of the living. However, but they put a rule in place that he must not pursue musical ambitions, if not he gets sent back to the land of the dead, in which is what happens, because he gets immediately sent back once he tries grabbing the guitar. Once he's like, yeah, I won't play music ever again, grabs a guitar, and then he jumps back to the land of the dead. However, that all changes then, because he then wants to pursue his own ambition of finding out who the person in the picture is at the start of the film, whose head is missing, and he always thought that that might be Ernesto, his musical icon and the one that he looks up to be just like. However, upon meeting him, he suddenly finds out that he's a bit of a jerk and a little bit, and not what he expected. It's the whole added thing of you should never meet your heroes, and that's what happened in this movie, because he found out he was a total bellend. But on the journey, he met the guy called Hector, in which helped him to find Ernesto and help to go along this journey. Little did he know, though, that the main plot twist in the entire movie is that Hector is actually the guy in the picture that he's been looking for all this time. The reveal of Hector's death was so great as well, because we find out that Ernesto was the huge part in his death, and that is the part where it's the big plot twist, sort of like in the middle end of the film, where you just find out that not only is he the guy in the picture, but also that Ernesto stole the songs of Hector's and then killed him, because he wanted to leave the tour and go home to his family, and he was unable to do so after Ernesto killed him, and he was ready to go back and visit his family. And that is also why the family hate the music, because of him being one of Miguel's ancestors. And when the family thought that he left the family for music, they wanted to shut music out completely and forget all about it, but that was not the case whatsoever, and that he absolutely loved his family and wanted to return. But that was a fantastic story. With Ernesto, I thought that he made an absolute fantastic villain, and really showcased that type of villain that we want to see in Pixar movies, because they're a little bit different from the Disney classic villains like Scar and all these others. And I think it was so different to see this type of villain who brutally killed his best friend just to steal his music. That worked. And what was great about that is that at the end of the film, we really got to see the real Ernesto and show his real self, of him being an egotistical bastard, and that he really wanted to just steal the music, get the fame, get the money from all the hard work that Hector did, and pretended that it was all his own, in which he did. And everybody in the land of the dead ends up finding out, because he then tries to kill Miguel, and kill everybody else who was around. And I think that just shows how evil this guy was, because he was willing to kill anybody who got in his way of getting to the top of his peak of fame, fortune and power, which he ended up getting to. And you could tell all the things and all the sacrifices he made to get to that point. Going back to Hector though, I thought his story was fantastic, what we've already explained in the story, but then the added thing, and the reason why he helps out Miguel in the first place, was because he cannot visit his family, in which at the start of the film Miguel did not know that he was part of his family, and he couldn't go back and revisit his family because nobody had put up a picture of him, and that was sort of quite upsetting in a way, because you thought, oh, he just wants his face being put there so that he can go revisit his family. And Miguel went, yeah, that's fine, let's do that. But little did he know that that was part of his family. And then fast forward to the end of the film, he gets nearly wiped off the face of the earth, and the only way he can be brought back is if he can get one of his great grandmas to remember who he is. And that was great, because his great grandma was like his daughter, and if his daughter could remember who he was, he could then come back to visit her and the rest of it. And that was just a fantastic story to put in there. And the way he makes her remember was the song Remember Me, which is like the full circle round of that entire song. Before we jump back into this video, guys, please do us a massive favour and smash that subscribe button, because you do not want to miss a thing this week, next week and the week after, because we've got tons and tons of content planned for you guys. And you can do us a massive favour by smashing that subscribe button, joining the community, getting updates to all the latest videos, from the YouTube shorts to the actual videos. It is well worth it, completely free, and you will not regret it. So to summarise Coco then, for me, I believe that this is an 8.2 out of 10 and a classic film. Let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments down below. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it terrible? Is it amazing? Let us know all that jazz down in the comments. Also with your ratings for this particular movie. And if you haven't done so already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. And if you haven't seen the latest videos on the channel, click here right now to find out what else we've been getting up to.